Biotin as our today's special. This is going to naturally enhance your skin and your skin's moisture. What we have for you it's an easy choice. There's 4 different sizes. I'll walk you through those. The pricing is fantastic. The beauty benefits, health benefits and beauty benefits involved with this product are pretty exciting. So let me show you. You can start with a 30, the Try Me size. We have a 60, a 120, or a 240 cap size. So you pick the size you want. Check out the pricing here. You can see if we go to the 30, and I can't see a monitor from where I am, but if you go to the 30, that normally would be $39. It's down to $23.90. The 60 cap is, let's see here, $69 down to $42. 120 is $119 down to $69. And then last but not least, check this out. We have the 240. It's $200 normally, $119, $80 savings. Bravo. And it's a first time we've ever offered this as a today's special. Best value we've ever had on this wonderful product. Excellent.
And unfortunately, because it was planned as a monthly special, and we thought we'd have more material coming in, but the material comes from France. It's the best phytoceramide material in the world, and unfortunately, it's not going to get here in time. So I'm hoping we have enough for the entire day. But if you're planning on ordering tomorrow evening, it could very well be sold out. I just wanted to say that in advance. But what are phytoceramides? Phytoceramides, if you break down the word, phyto meaning plant, ceramides are a special type of lipid that are the most important molecule in terms of the moisturization of our skin. In fact, so important that a lot of companies have adopted ceramides in their topical creams. However, all of the science I've read indicates that ceramides do not deliver their moisturizing function when delivered topically. Ceramides can only deliver their moisturizing function as they were intended when you ingest them or when your body manufactures them. So phytoceramides are the exact molecule, but plant-based. So our ceramides are not derived from some animal. They're plant-based, they're plant-derived ceramides. And there's been research, clinical science performed, where they isotopically label them, they radioisotopically label them. In other words, they label the molecules in a way to be able to track them to see that they actually go to the skin cells and deliver their moisturizing function. But when we look at our skin, I'm not sure if we ever think about our skin almost as being a huge sponge that's made up of all these cells that are, think about a brick wall or something like that, where each brick is a cell. And each of those cells has a lipid membrane around it. And inside those cells are basically an aqueous environment. To the extent those cells can retain their moisture inside, your cells remain plump, your skin remains plump, you have less fine lines and wrinkles. That's the kind of youthful, rich, plump skin we want to have. The key molecule responsible for keeping those cells moist and plump, that key molecule is ceramides. They're part of a class of molecules called sphingolipids. So ceramides are the most important in terms of skin moisture. Other molecules involved in skin moisture, omega-3 fats, fatty acids. Other molecules, interestingly enough, cholesterol. Cholesterol is something that's critical in terms of manufacturing the hormones in our body. It's a critical molecule in so many ways within our body in terms of our brain structure. But of course, we don't want too much cholesterol. But cholesterol is critical for the moisturization of our skin. Again, slathering cholesterol or slathering ceramides on the outside of your body, slathering omega-3 fats on the outside of the body. As much as they're critical for the moisturization of our skin, without question, absolutely, they work when they're delivered internally. And that's what we're doing here with our phytoceramides. And the reviews on this product, it's a relatively new product. It was scheduled to be our monthly special in July, but given that I was on the East Coast, we thought we'd turn it into a Today Special. It's one of the most frequently requested Today Specials because it was our biggest monthly special ever last year.
So if you're like me and a lot of us who are not taking this yet, this is our chance. This is the best value we've ever had on this product. It's the best day to buy it, and it's a one-day offer. So this is only for this one 24-hour period. So get it home and try it. It makes a lot of sense to a lot of us. As we get older, our skin loses moisture. If your skin is losing moisture, it's looking more lined and we're getting more lines and wrinkles. So the fact that this is a natural way to add that moisture back to our skin, to make our skin look smoother, less lined, less wrinkled, more youthful, I am absolutely buying this. I was telling Andrew, I don't ever recall offering this with you. I'm sure I probably have, but
No,
I'm
you
not,
probably haven't.
maybe I haven't, because I'm not taking it. And when I'm learning about it with everybody at home, I would be taking this if I had sold this with you.
It was a monthly special last year.
Okay.
So that means it really didn't get airtime.
Right.
Monthly specials are typically online.
Right.
So it's a product that didn't exist probably, I think about 2 years ago is when we first introduced it. Again, it was like all of my products, we tend to be very patient about their introduction. We tend to review the science, we review the ingredient, we make sure that we can make a product that's going to deliver benefits. And the science on these ingredients is clear. The fact, the two ways you can look at it. One way to look at it is just look at the anatomical science. It's inescapable that ceramides are the key moisturizing molecule for our skin cells, inescapable, as are fatty acids, as are cholesterol, but top of the list, ceramides. And the best way, the most scientifically proven way in a supplement to deliver ceramides are with these specific phytoceramides. So we didn't choose them because I like them more. I chose them because the science validated them more. So that's why we're using the specific phytoceramides that are present in this product. But when we look at our skin, again, we have to remember our skin cells, when you slather moisture on the outside of your body, and I was reading a few weeks ago some interesting research on moisturizers, and there's some great science on moisturizers, and some of the funny things they say are some of the most basic moisturizers from a few decades ago are more effective than the really fancy, expensive moisturizers. But when you look at a moisturizer, and I'm probably not going to remember the 3 main things they do, there's an occlusive moisturizer. An occlusive moisturizer is putting Vaseline on your skin. It occludes your skin. Obviously, it's not healthy. Your skin can't breathe. It's like putting lanolin on or things like that. But a certain amount of occlusion might be okay. It keeps moisture from getting out. And then there's a humectant function. And a humectant function, that to me is the real moisturization function, because that's when we're delivering moisture to the inner layers of the epidermis. That's when we're really getting moisture into the skin. That's the hard part, that humectant function. And then there's another function called the emollient function. That emollient function is kind of, and I guess I remembered them all. The emollient function is that's sort of the external lubricating function that we'll feel.
He's not reading a teleprompter, people. There are no cue cards out here. This is just all in that brilliant Rolodex going on there.
It's my brain full of random nonsense.
No, but it's much more than nonsense. You know that. It's remarkable, though. I sit here and marvel at him as he talks about all of these things, because it's just, we all are just sort of like, wow, what
each of us
kind of retention you have. It's amazing.
No, but I think each of us, at whatever job we do, we tend to be very smart at the job we do. It's sort of second nature. So this is what I do. I've been looking at this stuff my whole life. So it's just second nature to me.
So great.
So when we look at those 3 functions, really the most important is that humectant function, is how well we can deliver that to the stratum corneum, the important part of our epidermis in terms of how well we can moisturize that tissue. And fortunately or unfortunately, the role the skin plays in our body, it's a barrier function. The primary role of the skin is a barrier to the outside world. So it's really not receptive to taking in things from the outside. So when we look at our skin, it's like our healthy hair, skin, and nail formula. The way our healthy hair, skin, and nail formula works is by delivering to our body the tools that are necessary to manufacture and grow skin. Skin doesn't grow from the outside in. You don't change the quality of those tissues from the outside. The only chance, not the most chance, the only chance you have to change the quality, the nature of those tissues is from the inside. So the only real effective opportunities we have to moisturize our skin is from the inside. And it's not just phytoceramides, it's also making sure we have adequate amounts of healthy fats in our diet, whether it's eating healthy fish, cold water fish, whether it's eating avocados and things like that. That's the key. Omega-3 fatty acids, absolutely critical. But again, or hydrating. And I talked about this in a video the other day, that so many of us, as we get older, both men and women, men because of prostate issues, we all have our issues that we drink less fluid. Why? Because bladder function just isn't what it used to be when we were younger. So we drink less and less fluid, which is horribly unhealthy for so many systems in our body and not healthy for our skin. Because again, the most common sense way to moisturize your skin isn't by slathering moisturizers on the outside, but by giving your body the tools to maintain moist skin on the inside, which are the healthy fats, which are the ceramides we're talking about now, and simply by drinking tea or water or just making sure we intake the fluids our body needs.
Yeah, it makes sense. It does. But I think what's exciting here, you think about the money we all spend on beauty products. You think of the money we spend on our beauty creams. And as Andrew's pointing out, this works in a completely different fashion. I mean, this is actually giving your body what it needs to naturally be able to retain more moisture in the skin. And when your skin is moisturized, it looks more beautiful, it looks glowy, it feels better, it feels softer and smoother. So that's what's exciting about a product like this. I can't wait to start taking it. As I said, I'm not taking it yet, but I'm super excited to start taking it. And this is the best day ever because the pricing, 30, 60, 120, 240. Do we take one a day or two a day? One a day only.
It's an incredibly expensive ingredient.
They're gorgeous.
And what a lot of companies do is they put the daily dose into multiple capsules.
Look how pretty
we were able to get the daily dose into one capsule.
Aren't they pretty?
It's a beautiful golden amber color.
Amber color. Look at they're beautiful little capsules.
And it's just one capsule, so you get what you need in one capsule. You don't have to take more. But rather, the reviews are incredible. But before we get to the reviews, I just wanted to read some of the science. I mean, there's so many great reviews. I should look at here. Here, I just grab these quickly from the top. So this is from, and again, it's not a drug or a medicine. It just happens to be from a medical journal that's called Drug Metabolism and Pharmacokinetics. Several studies demonstrate that aging, atopic dermatitis, or other metabolic abnormalities, I guess aging is a metabolic abnormality, lead to diminished ceramide levels in the stratum corneum. Again, the stratum corneum is that part of the epidermis I was talking about earlier. That's the part that we really want to moisturize, which compromises cutaneous barrier function. Again, the barrier function, that's the key function of the skin, and induces skin disorders such as dry skin, redness, and swelling. I mean, we're not talking about skin diseases, just skin disorders like dry skin, redness, and swelling. Right. So when the stratum corneum isn't adequately moisturized, and ceramides are the key molecule for moisturization, it's sort of easy to tie this together. In recent years, here we go, oral ingestion of ceramides has reportedly been shown to be effective in improving cutaneous barrier function, alleviating dry skin, and moderating atopic dermatitis. And this finding has caused interest in sphingolipid, and again, ceramides are sphingolipids, as a functional food ingredient.
How else are we going to get ceramides if we're not taking the supplement?
If you eat a more vegetarian, vegetable-rich diet, you get some sphingolipids in your diet, but you get a single-digit percentage, even with a very healthy diet, a tiny percentage of what you get in each capsule here. Yep. So this is from the Archives of Dermatological Research. Our findings demonstrated significantly decreased levels of all major lipid species, in particular ceramides, with increasing age. And it's sort of a marker of aging skin is drying skin and wrinkling skin and low ceramide levels. Wow. Similarly, the stratum corneum lipid levels of all body sites examined were dramatically depleted in winter compared with spring and summer. And again, this is one of those things that so many folks, when they will write reviews on this product, they'll notice differences on the skin in their hands or the issues that they had with their feet or with their elbows or knees. And they expected, and I guess it's because we're so used to seeing products on television where they're always showing before and after pictures of the face and things like that. And if they talk about wrinkling or something, which this can affect wrinkling, we're thinking about the face. But most people didn't expect to see a difference on their body. But our skin covers our entire body, and we tend to try to moisturize our skin on our entire body. So this is a product that doesn't just deliver its benefits to your face, but it delivers it to your skin and the tissues that cover your entire body. So and the reviews, I encourage everyone to read the reviews, and it's a product, again, not a drug, not a medicine, but a sort of a subtle internal moisturizer. But if we continue from these lipids, ceramides from multi-lamellar sheets, they form these sheets And these sheets play the role in the barrier function of our skin. And these sheets are responsible for retaining the moisture, protecting our skin within the intercellular spaces of the stratum corneum, the organization of which are essential in maintaining the functionality of skin as an effective barrier to water loss. So the degree to which we can effectively create these lamellar sheets in the stratum corneum of ceramides is the degree to which we retain moisture effectively, and our skin cells are more plump, more youthful, and that's what we're all seeking. Again, it makes sense to use a moisturizer, and as I said before, a moisturizer is usually a combination of three functions. Part of it is occlusive. We kind of shut down our skin. We try to coat our skin to keep moisture in. Not the healthiest thing. And the minute that starts coming off, the skin will have accelerated moisture loss afterwards. The humectant properties of a moisturizer, those are great properties. Very hard to achieve, where it actually transfers moisture deeper into the skin. And then the emollient properties, easy to accomplish because that's just that kind of oily, textury feel on the outside of our body. The humectant properties is what we really want to accomplish. And I know what everybody's thinking, why am I not making a moisturizer? As far as I'm concerned, there are enough moisturizers on the market, and until I could make something that was really unique, different and scientifically supported, there's enough moisturizers on the market. I will stick to the most...
This is your type of moisturizer.
Yes, this is science. I mean, this is science. This takes advantage of the system of moisturization that our body has been using for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years, and that's the kind of science that I like.
You see there? I know that we have other goodies we're going to be sharing with you in this hour, but I would love to encourage you, if you aren't taking it yet, this is the first time we've ever offered the Phytoceramides as a today's special. This is a special surprise visit, so Andrew wanted to do something that we've never done before, and it's a chance for all of us to try this incredible beauty product. I mean, that's the key. Also, I want to let you know, in July, we focus on beauty with Andrew Lessman in July. There are two great beauty-oriented today's specials, and we're going to be giving you a sneak peek at those coming up in a couple of minutes. So I hope you'll be on the lookout for that, because you'll have a chance to pre-order the today's specials from July.
We'll do them right now.
Should we do it?
Yeah,
all right, excellent.
We'll come back to phytoceramides.
Okay.
But we just want to give everyone a sneak peek. It won't come out because, again, we make